Hey everybody, welcome back to MindMesh. My name's Chayton.
And I'm Fish. And I'm Cole.
Oh my goodness, we have our first special guest. And by special, I mean
shucks.
he's just ordinary. He's our friend Cole. So, Cole, welcome to MindMesh. This is the podcast where we take any of those shower thoughts or those internet rabbit holes you find late at night and we talk about them. It's the stuff we thrive on. It's the stuff we get off to. And you know what? That's a good segue into our topics because we're talking about fetishes tonight, people.
Well, I am honored to be here.
What? What's up? What's going on?
Before we get into it, let's let Cole give an introduction. Tell us about yourself,
I figured we
Cole.
would do that at the end so that way it's on the forefront of people's mind before we start talking for like 40 minutes.
Well, he can plug himself at the end if
you want to do it twice?
It's at Bankston Media. Contact me right now. I need blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, okay, let's go. All right. We have some great topics. The last one is honestly the best one. That's the one that Mr. Cole here brought to the table. But yeah, we're going to be talking not all of our topics are about fetishes, but two of our topics are about fetishes. Okay, Fish, I understand that you don't think that my fetish is weirder than your fetish. So, like,
what's
up? Yeah,
we got to clarify. These are not fetishes we have. These are fetishes that we found.
No, yeah, these are fetishes we found. What did you not miss the description at the beginning? These are shower thoughts and internet rabbit holes. These are not our personal feelings.
Either way.
Yeah, okay.
I believe thoroughly that
thoroughly.
Well, to be honest, I couldn't find a subject to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
So
he trusted me, and I came up with two fetishes.
Well, I thought of furries, and he said that's not good enough. So we'll talk about puppy play. And I was like, "What is puppy play?" So he showed me a small documentary about puppy play.
Little
so someone learned something new today.
I think we all learned something new today. Apparently, my topic you guys already knew about, but I learned something based off Cole's topic, and then Fisher learned something based off his own topic.
This is
so much
true.
learning going on.
Yeah, the only one that didn't learn jack shit is Cole.
Oh yeah, no.
Cole knew about all of it.
Cole knew all of this stuff because he's a freak.
I just learned though that apparently if you are executed on death row, on your death certificate, the cause of death is marked homicide.
Interesting.
Wow, Cole, let's talk about puppy play. So, actually, Fish, here, you just watched the short documentary. You just learned what this is. Please explain it to the class. Go to the board and write down a chart and explain it to the class.
All right. So, puppy play.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't do this to me right now.
Wrong.
Puppy play is like, in my own words, would be like furries to like 11
latex furries.
Yeah, exactly. Like instead of like the fursuits, you go straight latex BDSM shit with these like latex dog masks.
Yeah, and
you literally just act like a dog.
Would you? Okay,
you go out in public with a quote unquote master, and they walk you around, and they take you to a dog park. And you shit in the grass.
We did not see that. Don't you lie. We did not see that.
Stimulate pissing on.
No,
the
we
side
did not see that. Don't lie.
Stimulate pissing on the side of a telephone pole. We did see that.
We saw simulation of piss. We did see that.
We don't know if he actually pissed, but he simulated it.
Well, okay. Then my question becomes: don't furries do that?
I think
not
with
to
furries,
the extent,
no. With furries, I think when they go out, like fursuiting, they
in their fursona.
Yes, they don't have masters per se. They're just kind of their own thing.
But also, furries are anthropomorphized animals, so they're more human-like than they are animals.
Yeah, but then in that document,
humans like fully embracing being like an animal.
Yeah, but we saw one of them stand on two legs drinking a cup of coffee, even though there was no mouth hole in their mask. So like, I feel like we can just adequate these two. These guys are furries. They've just taken it to a different extreme. Not to say furries are extreme. I mean, any fetish really isn't extreme to the person per se. But I feel like there's some kind of correlation.
Like I guess like kink shaming is wrong or whatever. And
2019.
Whoa! Don't give last names. What's wrong with you? Everyone friend him on Facebook. What? Yeah.
You made me lose my train of thought.
I'm so sorry.
What did I just say?
The correlation between furries and puppy play.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about like I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, I was about to say you acted like you had.
I apologize.
As soon as you said the second like, I was like, this man does not have the topic he was going to talk about again.
I think the big difference. I think it seems like there's more of an emphasis, on dominance
In puppy play.
and then there is in just furry.
Yeah, with furries, it's like it's one big community.
Yeah.
Whereas with puppy play, it's like it's distinguished between the two archetypes.
I remember what I was gonna say.
I guess it's the same with like the dom and the dommy. I don't.
Dom sub.
Yeah, the sub or whatever. What's up?
So like, okay, goddamn, I lost it again. What did you guys just say? What did you just say?
We were talking about doms and subs and how there was a difference in class. Like furries are like one big group.
Community.
Yeah, community.
So
furries are just My Little Pony watchers.
Like individually, I don't think it's odd. It's not normal per se, but it's not bad.
No, yeah.
But like some of the communities have very bad things attached to them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I mean, you could say that with like, I mean, honestly, you could say that about most people that follow. Yeah, most communities, be it on YouTube, be it through television shows, like fan bases. All fan bases have like those bad sections. Those bad. I'm not saying they're bad. No, they're not saying. They're different. That's what we'll say. That's how we'll define them, is different. But it's also like technically we're different to them.
I'm just talking about like the weird well, I don't want to get us like demonetized. So
we're technically not monetized.
That's true. So but like those furry discords that have cheese pizza on them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I got.
As they sent in the Pizzagate emails.
Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from. I understand exactly where you're heading.
Like, there's a lot of fucked up shit in those communities, but like, not every individual in those communities is involved with that shit. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because like you can always get around like that child porn loophole by like,
what's wrong with you?
I mean, that's what they do though. That's what it's. They can always come back and say, well, no, it's just a drawing of a kid, you know? They're using that kind of loophole.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing with like Japanese anime. It's like they draw these 13-year-olds super sexual and like they make
their reasoning behind it is that Japan's age of consent is super low, which is really fucked up.
Yeah, it's really fucked up, but it's also one of those things where like they don't translate that. Like I was watching today how there was a video game that was coming out that had like in the Japanese version, it had a boob and a crotch scroller in the character customization where you could change the bust and the bulge size of your character. But in any other version of the game, be it in the US, the UK, or whatever, those customization sliders were completely different. And like the game developers basically made a statement where they were like, we just figured why not make the game culturally appropriate for everyone? Like this game was made in Japan. We felt that these sliders were appropriate for the Japanese audience, but not for Western audiences. But the anime side of things do not give two shits. They will make a 12-year-old look like a fucking 30-year-old woman with double D tits.
Yeah, it gets really weird.
But it's like it's also one of those things where it's like that's. I mean, I'd hate to say that that's normal for them, but that's normal for them, which is kind of weird to think about.
It's a weird thing to get into because, like, I like My Hero.
Yeah.
But My Hero has a bad problem about that, too.
I feel like
most of the high school animes, especially.
Most high school well, I mean, I feel like most animes do.
Yeah.
Like, in all honesty, when you're looking at a broad scope of things, when it comes to Japanese
stuff like
animation,
Dragon Ball, when like Goku was like fucking a child, there was fucking perverted shit in it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like that's a big thing. I feel like that's a very big thing in Japanese animation. It's just it's one of those things where it's just such a big cultural difference. Where like for them that stuff doesn't seem to matter.
Where does Food Wars come into all this?
Dude, Food Wars is its own special place in my heart. Cause like man, do I love that show, but man, is it fucking weird when they eat food.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, you get to a point when you're watching Food Wars where you completely dissociate yourself. Like, those scenes happen where they're eating the food and all their clothes are bursting off and they're all having fucking orgasms after they eat this bowl of fucking eggs and rice.
Yeah.
And, like, you get to a point, honestly, I hit that point at episode 2 of the first season.
Yeah.
Like, it happened in the first episode and my jaw became a gape. I was just like, what? I can't. This is not for me. And then I watched episode 2 and I became so desensitized by it already that I was just like, oh, hell yeah, this is a cooking show. This should be on Food Network. That's where I was at. Like, I just became so desensitized to that whole aspect of the show. And I think that kind of is what happens when you're watching anime when they have 13-year-olds look like 30-year-olds. You just become so desensitized that, like, it doesn't matter to your brain until you start thinking about it again.
Food Network should have like a nighttime show, kind of like Adult Swim, but it's just food related shows.
Yeah,
you know, for your stoner audience.
Or your late night.
That's what Vice lands for.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, I feel like there are channels specifically for that. And I wonder if the people that own Vice actually like are under the same parent network that Food Network's under.
I don't know. They do a lot of those weed cooking shows.
Do they?
Yeah, Bong Appetit.
That's a thing?
Yeah, it's like they a bunch of like fancy dishes or gourmet dishes with like weed infused in them.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's absolutely fantastic.
And then they fucking what's the dude? Action Bronson has his own show on there where he does. I think he goes to different restaurants and shit, kind of like
Guy Fieri with diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Exactly.
Let's just talk about the Food Network now. I'm really into this conversation.
Yeah, I know.
No, I love how we went so deep into this. We started with fetishes and somehow that turned into 13-year-old anime girl
and Food Network
and into Food Network. I guess since we're talking about food, we can talk about the Tupperware, which is made out of the main Tupperware container is Rubbermaid, and you know what rubber is also used for balloons.
Wow, that was a seamless transition, Jay.
Yeah, I'm so glad that Fisher tried to interrupt me and ruin such a seamless segue. No, what I'm here to talk about is apparently a term that both Fisher and Cole knew, Looners.
I didn't know the name, but I knew what it was.
You knew this was a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cole's the freak of the room.
I wrote a really, really cringy screenplay in high school about
a Looner?
It was about a guy going from like different fetishes, going from fetish club to fetish club. It was terrible.
Wait, so you
was it like Fight Club?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, no.
But he can't find the right fight. He's like trying to find the right fight club for him.
I get you.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
No, it's terrible.
Okay, so did you have a puppy play club in this? Or
no, there was like a yarn one, there was a furry one, and there was the balloon one.
Yarn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yarn?
Yeah. Let's before
was
we
that
get,
like what? Is that like child BDSM? What's going on with that?
Oh yeah, no. There's a yarn one where like it's just these people that like they knit. They have like these like dominatrix suits, but instead of like leather and stuff, it's
just
yarn.
Fucking knitted.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Woolies, that's what they're called.
What did you say?
Woolies. Yeah.
All I'm thinking about is Yoshi's Woolly World.
Can you pull that up, Jamie?
Jamie?
Jamie, did you pull that up?
Oh my god. I hate you
Just
both.
pull up Woolly.
No, but let's talk about goddamn Looners.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. On the spectrum of like weird, honestly, in my mind, I do find this more tame than puppy play.
Yeah.
But just the ideology behind it, I think it's more tame. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like I feel like puppy play is on an extreme end of the spectrum, but like Looners, its own kind of like the brain,
it's its own entity.
Yeah, the brain power you have to do to be into balloons, because the video we watched was not specifically he was into rubber. Because if he was into rubber, he'd be into like latex and stuff like that. No, this man only got aroused if the balloon was like big enough and would pop loud enough. That's what gave him his joy.
It was that anticipation of just like, will it pop?
Yeah, will it pop? It was like the surprise factor.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I understand, because when you were a kid and you were like blowing up balloons for your birthday party and stuff like that.
And also he was scared of them. Remember they mentioned that?
Yeah,
like,
he was scared as a kid.
Which I mean, I guess I can vouch for that. I was never like scared of balloons, but I always hated blowing a balloon, and you always get that one like dud that like the chemicals that made up the latex or the rubber didn't bond correctly, so it would only get half the size it was supposed to, and then it would just pop.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I Five Nights at Freddy's jump scared at those moments, but like, I don't feel like it's made me fucking, let's blow up a balloon so we can get going.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone kind of has like an adrenaline rush of like, it's like a jump scare.
Yeah, no,
that's what we said when we were watching like the little,
because it's
when we
just
were watching
like
the little doc. We were like, when the balloons were popping, we were all like, yeah, that's called an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
But like his brain, for whatever reason, turned it to an 11. Yeah, it associated it with like a pleasurable action, and just the endorphins in his brain's like, all right, dude, this balloon popped, the air's out. Let's get that air in. I don't know. It was really weird, especially watching the video, because every time a balloon would pop, he would do the stuff that you're supposed to do when a bear attacks. You're supposed to like act big and strong and like make yourself bigger. Watching him, it felt like he expanded, and he would just be like, oh, he would get so excited about this balloon popping. It was just, I don't know. Fetishes are weird.
Yeah.
Why can't everyone just be? I'm not gonna say that. That would just be rude. Everyone's got their own little quirks. Everyone's got their own little kinks. Let's not kink shame, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's someone out there in our audience that, just realized that they're into something they never knew they were into.
So
dude, Fisher is so done. He's so ready to look at him.
Minecraft high school, anybody?
No! Oh my god. Okay, look. Since Fisher was struggling for a topic, we walked into his room, and he was furiously typing on his laptop trying to find something, and he found out that there's just this whole subsection of YouTube where they take like popular kids cartoons and games, and they just put them in high school.
It is the funniest goddamn thing.
No, it's like those all those child YouTube channels that like YouTube shut down, where it was just a man in a cheap ass Halloween Spider-Man costume with Elsa making her pregnant.
So like, is there still a possibility of you and your girlfriend doing the Spider-Man Elsa cosplay? Any chance?
Yeah, Fish. Let's talk about that fetish. That we know that's why that high school bullshit's in your search history. We know that's what you're doing. We know that's what gets you off.
I made Fisher mad.
Let's talk about Sonic High School, dude.
Sonic is S tier.
Dude, he's just saying that. Okay. I mean, we can talk about this. This is a timeless topic. And then Smash Brothers. What's your views on Smash Brothers, Fisher? I mean, you just stated them, but please state them again for the audience.
I mean, I believe that Sonic is the best character
in the game.
I think it
ever.
Yes,
even in Smash 64 when he didn't exist.
Exactly.
That's why he's S tier. He was so elusive. He was so fast. He wasn't even in the roster.
So rare that you couldn't obtain him until.
He was like a reptile in the first Mortal Kombat.
When did they add Sonic? Smash
4. Yeah, it was the Wii U version. I think. Yeah, it was the Wii U version.
Either way. And then it's followed by Banjo-Kazooie, and
thank you for saying that one of my mains is S tier, even though he doesn't have an S in his name.
And then Princess Peach, and then every other character sucks.
Whoa! You don't even play Princess Peach.
I know, but I know she's good.
Dude, I can't wait to call this episode Fetishes and Smashing. I feel like that's gonna be such a great
stop.
Smash and smash.
Smash. Which one's which? You decide. Cole, what are your thoughts about Smash Brothers? All of them. Melee, Brawl, Wii U, Ultimate, N64. Are there any others? I don't think there are.
It's a great series. I think my hot take is that like I think they just get better each time.
You think so? Yeah. So you think from Melee into Brawl that was a better jump?
I liked Brawl. It gets a lot of hate.
Glad we're thinking into the same thing.
Thank you.
I liked Brawl. I did not like the Wii U one.
Yeah.
So did you guys have did you grow up with Smash Bros?
Yeah.
I didn't really grow up with Smash Bros. I played it a couple times in middle school, and then I picked it up here in college playing with you guys.
I can say sorta kinda I grew up with Smash Brothers because The first console I ever got was a GameCube, but funnily enough, I never got Melee. The first Smash Brothers I got was Brawl, and then once I got Brawl, I was talking to my buddy about it. He's like, "Oh, you haven't played Melee?" I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, there's another Smash Brothers." And I was like, "What?" And then he's like, "Yeah, it was for the GameCube." I was like, "I had a GameCube, and I didn't get this." And so, it was kind of one of those weird experiences where, like, yeah, I kind of grew up with Smash Brothers because I had it early on in my video gaming life, but like it wasn't one of those things where, like, when I was super young, I had a friend named Tyler and he had a SNES, and like I went over. No, he had a NES actually. I never actually got to play a SNES, but he had a NES and we went over and played Donkey Kong, and that was like the first video game console stuff that I ever dealt with. But I wouldn't say that I grew up with Smash, but Smash was I got to play Smash early.
Yeah,
I get you.
I never had Melee on my GameCube, but it was always on the GameCube at my local McDonald's.
Wait,
in the play area.
Wait, your fucking McDonald's had a goddamn video game console in the play area?
Yes, they did.
I remember certain ones having that.
Certain ones did have it.
I've never seen
you
that.
Were lucky.
Yeah. And of course, I mained Kirby, as I do.
Yeah, main Kirby.
So did you just like go in there and like wait for kids to get on there and just beat
their asses?
It's a small town, so there weren't too many kids. But you usually would wait if there were too many kids.
Okay.
Well, what I was gonna go back to is the most recent patch. I'm not gonna say it because we want these bad boys to be timeless. Anyone can listen to them. But of course, every time there's a new patch for the newest Smash, they always all the big Smash players do like their tier list to like update them. Be like, okay, so the patch notes made these characters better than these characters. Yeah. These characters play well. And there was one I was watching that instantly, they grabbed Kirby. They threw him into E tier. They were like, nah, fuck Kirby. He's terrible in this game. He's absolutely god-awful in this game. And I was just like, man, I can't wait to show that to Cole's face. Because then he knows that Kirby isn't even E tier. Kirby's K tier.
What?
Kirby's so low on that roster.
What about Mr. Game?
I don't remember where Mr. Game & Watch was. I think he was like middle of the road. Yeah, no, I feel I also I feel like it's like kind of it's based on the player. Like I feel like there's a lot of pro players that
pick low tier characters to kind of undermine.
Yeah, they try and undermine their competitors and try to get into their head, be like, oh, this character's not very complex.
Yeah.
That type of deal.
Or like this character sucks. It's easy to get around them, or their moveset sucks. Blah blah blah. But if you have someone that actually knows how to use said moveset, it works.
Yeah, no, I mean that's how it always is with most characters in Smash
or any fighting game, really.
Yeah, any fighting game, really. It's like there's always going to be that one character that like everyone deems is the worst character in the game, but like if there's one person that learns how to use them and learns how to use them well, it's like it's like fuck it, like why not?
Yeah.
Why not prove everyone wrong?
Yeah.
If you can utilize it to like their extreme, then why not?
You know why not?
Well, not, and that's why Sonic is S tier now. It's because
Sonic is S tier because if you make Sonic S tier, he can be S tier.
That's every character.
That's the motivation you should take out of this.
If you're going into a fight, you have to think that you're S tier because if you believe, you can succeed, and that's what I learned from every children's book.
Lying to yourself is important.
Yeah, lying to yourself is important. That's the only way you'll make it in life. I'm glad we got that out of the way. I was really hoping someone would talk some life advice. We really should turn this podcast into something about morals. Let's talk about morals, guys. What are you guys' morals?
I don't know.
You don't know?
It's like a yin and yang. Like these two sort of like twisted pairs, you know? You know what I mean?
Dude,
can you elaborate a little bit?
Sense of duality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, those twisted pairs.
All those pairs, they get really twisted really easily.
Cole's not catching on to this
segue. I'm trying to transition into your fucking topic.
Transing into...
Yes! Okay. Why do you think we just repeated twin pairs for like...
Oh yeah, we talked about Looners. Okay, so...
Yeah, we talked about Looners for 5 minutes before we got into Smash Bros. Because they're not as big as freaks as we thought.
So I wanted...
It's just a guy who's into blowing up condoms.
Yeah,
let's talk.
I wanted to bring this up because I just had recently ordered a a Neil Breen like box set, basically.
Okay.
Explain what Neil Breen is.
Neil Breen is an architect from Las Vegas, Nevada, who just decided one day that he was going to make movies.
Yeah.
They're all about how he has psychic powers, can cure cancer, and he's basically like this godlike figure. He can hack a lot.
He is in real life.
Exactly.
He's like Chris Angel.
He can hack into anything. What's great about his movies is that, he directs them, he writes them, he stars in them. He does, just everything himself.
Everything.
Even catering.
Yeah. It's like the movie that we watched on Movie Talks this week that's coming up at the end of the week.
Yes.
Yes.
Please tell us more about Neil Breen.
And he is just this crazy person. Most of his movies are like
take that back right now. The way you're describing him sounds like he's an entrepreneur.
No, he is a entrepreneur and a crazy genius. I'd say.
Crazy genius.
I can vouch.
I was about to say you both have watched Neil Breen movies.
I've seen one of his films, Faithful Findings, and
masterpiece.
Yes, it is a masterpiece.
I'd say if you start with Neil Breen, that is the one to start with.
A lot of people, and I know this has been said before, I'm not the first person to say this, but a lot of people like to talk about Tommy Wiseau.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This
good old
guy,
Wizzy boy.
This guy puts him
to shame.
Yes.
To shame.
Like, if you think that's too
think the only difference,
too bad, it's good. You gotta watch Neil Breen.
Yeah, no, I think the only difference between Tommy Wiseau and Neil Breen is the sole fact that, like, even though Tommy Wiseau has made less movies, Tommy Wiseau knows how to, like, put himself out there. He knows how to, he knows how to advertise himself.
Yeah,
I think that's the main difference. Everyone knows about Tommy Wiseau because he like put himself out there.
Yeah.
Well, like, I think the main difference is that Tommy Wiseau is trying to tackle I haven't seen The Room, but it's a drama, right?
No, we've watched it before. You were there.
That's how toned out he was.
Okay.
I don't remember. Where
were we in a room?
Oh, I don't remember when we put that on. Anyways, what was I saying about The Room?
Tommy Wiseau,
yeah. So it's a drama, right? It's just a drama.
Yeah.
So the thing is, Neil Breen takes that same amount of budget that Tommy Wiseau has and
then makes an action movie out of it.
Yeah.
And like a sci-fi, like art house.
Black Mirror, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. He goes like too ambitious. Like, it would be like a $30 million movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, literally the trailer we watched, which was for Twisted Pair, which came out last year, it had copyright 2018 on it. But what was weird to me was the sole fact that it seemed like every single shot, or like 90% of the shots, were green screen.
Yeah.
And like the background plate wasn't CG or anything like that. It was just a still image. He probably searched on Google and made sure it had Creative Commons licensing on it.
So that's actually a common thread in his movies, not just like a chunk of them being stock footage, but him using free music, free graphics, free anything, stuff that you could just look at and be like, yeah, he probably just got that from.
He also gets all these old laptops, so he can like destroy them on camera.
In multiple movies,
just to up his budget.
Yeah,
well, just like I guess to add production value. There's like one scene he's sitting there in Faithful Findings. He's like sitting there typing, and he starts like passing out, and he has a cup of coffee, and he pours it over like 6 laptops, and they all fall over.
What?
Yeah. He's very abusive towards his laptops.
Do you think that's his kink? Do you think that's his fetish?
It's like a what'd you call that?
Is that why he quit being
laptopper?
No, you said he was a lawyer in Vegas?
Architect
in Vegas.
Yeah.
Do you think like he was an architect and his computers just never worked? Like the CAD programming just never worked, and
either
he
that
just
or
got
he
so
just went to
frustrated?
Craigslist.
I'm sorry, what?
Or that or maybe he went to Craigslist. I know schools will auction off their old shit.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like back when he was an architect, like his computer never worked, and it caused him to have just a hatred for laptops.
Yeah.
And now in all of his movies, he wants to buy up super old laptops that are broken so he can bust them because he gets off to it.
Mm-hmm. Like a Looner.
No, like a laptopper. We just discussed the name. God, I don't.
Yeah.
but what's so special about this new movie, Cole?
What's so special about Twisted Pair?
He plays his own evil twin.
So it's like Jack and Jill, but with Neil Breen.
Except without Adam Sandler. So it's probably a better movie.
Exactly. That's not a high bar, but
I mean, it's not a high bar, but like Neil Breen shouldn't be on a high bar. He's on a different scope.
He's on another plane than any of us.
The bar that we're thinking about is vertical. The bar we should be thinking about is horizontal. This is a graph now, folks. We got the Y and the X axis.
Neil Breen has the Z axis.
Yeah, Neil Breen has the Z axis. He goes back and forth. He goes forward and back in time.
Oh, this is disappointing.
What? Our discussion about Neil Breen's disappointing. I haven't even seen the movie, and I'm interested.
Well, like I said, I do have the box set. Well, I have the box set.
You got the whole thing, all of them.
Wait, is it on Amazon? I had to go to neilbreen.com.
I had to get a bootleg from Etsy because he stopped selling 2 of his movies.
What? Why? What's wrong, Neil Breen? Did you lose the copyright? Did you forget to up that copyright?
You probably just couldn't afford to produce more. That's probably what happened. But
dude, his DVD sales are producing all of his films.
I mean, yeah. Faithful Findings. I got Passed Through, and now I have Twisted Pair.
The trilogy.
Wait, how many movies does he have?
5.
5?
5.
Are they all
all 5?
Wait, are they all interconnected?
Not interconnected,
they have
but
similar themes.
Very similar themes.
Like the main characters always. No, I'm just trying to think they're because whenever I write scripts or stuff like that, there's a lot of times where I always think to cross over names and stuff like that, use different characters but with the same names to somehow connect them in my own mind for whatever reason. And I'm just thinking now, if in all 5 of these Neil Breen movies, if the main character always has the same first name and it's Neil, and they're all somehow connected through some kind of family chain, like Sly Cooper.
They're all played by Neil Breen.
Yeah, I mean, they're all played by Neil Breen, but I'm just saying, I would just like to think that they're all part of the same family lineage.
It's entirely possible.
They're all the Breen.
Like JoJo, but Neil Breen.
They're all the Breens.
Yeah.
It's the Breen family.
The lineage.
They live in a giant decrepit castle like the Addams family.
His Hamon, that's what, Hamon, thank you.
What's that? Hakuna Matata? What's going on?
Yeah, it's the chakra in JoJo.
Oh, gotcha.
It's what Neil Breen has.
Sorry, that anime does not have 13-year-olds that look like 30-year-olds, so I can't watch it.
That way he can hold magical rocks and cure people's cancer.
It does have 15-year-olds that look like 30-year-olds. They're just super fucking buff.
Yeah. Sorry, that's too old.
I also want to point out that he's cured cancer in multiple movies.
I mean, that's normal. That's happening right now.
Yeah, no, that's just what Neil Breen does.
This is what happens when we pre-record, and this is happening 5 years later after we record this stuff. It's just.
What do you mean pre-record? That just means it came out before this happened.
What?
Unless we sat on this for 5 years.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We sit on this for 5 years. And see, that's why we have to keep these timeless. So that way, when we release these in 5 years, no one knows.
It's actually going to be a secret vault no one knows about.
Yeah, it's like the
I hope
Disney
someone
vault.
I hope someone really thinks that we recorded this 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, if they look up Neil Breen, they'll know that.
Well, we kind of gave a certain date when we said copyright 2018, but that just tells them that we couldn't have recorded it before that year. Maybe it's still 2018. Maybe it's 2021.
So what's what is our streaming service name?
What?
When we have our own streaming service, because when we have enough content, we have to charge people for a streaming service. That's how it works now.
I don't know. We'll talk about your stuff at the end, and then of course there's this podcast and the movie talks. We'd have to make our own audio and video platform. It had to be a combination of Audible and Spotify. Or no, not Audible and Spotify. It had to be a combination of Spotify and Netflix. That way, not only do we cover the video market, we also cover the audio market. And then once we start writing books, then we can also add Audible into the mix, and we can just have a little cuddle puddle of streaming services. I think that's the ultimate goal. I think that's the ultimate goal that all the streaming services are trying to do right now.
Yeah.
I mean, good old Netflix started with just movies, and now they have TV shows. Who's to say they're not going to work their way into writing novels? Like, I mean, come on,
like
guys.
ebooks.
Yeah, like ebooks. Yeah. Like, what if Netflix started making
or audiobooks or what? And then like
what if Netflix started like you remember back in the day when movies came out and like a month later you go into Barnes and Noble or Walmart and you'd be walking through the aisles and all of a sudden you see like Spider-Man 3, the book about the movie. Like, yeah, you remember those? Like,
it's like novelizations.
Yeah, novelizations of
those
movies.
Are weird.
I tried to read The Dark Knight Rises in high school just because I was a Batman fan.
Yeah,
they're terribly adapted. It's just so dry and boring.
Yeah,
no wonder it's $3 at a fucking grocery store.
I don't even get what market is that for? Thank you.
I have no idea.
Well, no, I was just saying to sit back a little bit. Your the bass of your voice, your majestic male voice is just booming.
La la la.
You don't have to do that.
Okay.
But anyways, back to the serialization of The Dark Knight Rises.
It's not good.
Yeah, no, they're all bad. It's kind of weird because like they adapt the movie to a T, but then they try to add a little bit of flair because it is a novelization, and like it doesn't work. Yeah. Especially since like I use the Spider-Man 3 example because I actually had that book for whatever ungodly reason. Maybe it's because the movie was so bad I thought the novel was gonna be better. But like I remember reading it, and I was just so like perturbed by it. I was so off put by it because I was just like, why is this a thing? Yeah. But they did stop doing that, I think. Did they stop doing that?
I don't know.
Because then they started basing movies off books, so they like reversed the script there. Yeah. Then we got Twilight.
When After Earth came out, there was a novelization of the After Earth movie.
Well, that's M. Night Shyamalan. That's something M. Night Shyamalan would do. I mean, let's just be for real here. Yeah.
You guys ever see Wayward Pines?
No.
It was garbage. It was so bad. They had the dumbest fucking plot twist.
Wait, who made this? Was it M. Night?
M. Night made it. He mostly produced it though. He directed like the first 4 episodes.
Well, M. Night's weird. He always like makes one good movie and then he goes shit for like 10 years.
Yeah.
But I mean maybe that's his big twist.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. M. Night Shyamalan's just a weird old man. Well, he's not even old. He's like 40 or something. Maybe he's 50. I don't know.
Getting older.
I mean, everyone's getting older. We're all stepping towards death, dude. Yeah. Let's make this shit sad.
Speaking of M. Night, kind of, and Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this new Netflix adaptation of?
Oh yeah, I forgot that was
Avatar,
happening.
The Last Airbender.
Everything's going live.
It's like a live action.
Yeah, it's
remake.
a live action TV show for Netflix.
Doesn't need it.
No, I don't.
We already got one shitty live action adaptation.
What do you mean one? There's so many shitty live action adaptations.
Talking about Avatar.
No, I mean I understand that, but what I'm saying is like that's just a thing nowadays. That's just a thing that we do.
I mean I get it of anime, but like specifically like The Last Airbender. Like we already got one. We already had one. It was terrible.
The only thing that sort of makes me hopeful, I mean, I don't want a remake. I think it was fine how it was, but the original writers are on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the original writers are on it.
Wait, but didn't the original writers have some kind of say in the Last Airbender by Mr. Shyamalan himself?
I have no idea.
I do not know.
I feel like I could have sworn that, or maybe no. Oh no, I feel like the creators of Avatar wouldn't have allowed Mr. Shalabamba to do whatever.
And also, I think they make fun of it in that play episode.
Oh, do they?
I mean,
yeah.
Oh, and like the Legend of Korra.
No. Right there at the end of Avatar, it's like a recap episode, and they're in like a theater, and it's like a play of everything that's happened thus far.
And like it's completely wrong, and they're just like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. That's kind of cool. I like when cartoons like intervene with the real world if like something weird's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like those little tiny Easter eggs. It's just like, remember when this shitty thing happened that we paid for?
Yeah.
Oh god. Let's forget about that, but make it funny.
Yeah.
No, I'm a big fan of when TV shows do that. I feel like it, like when TV shows and like movies and stuff accept humility. I think that's a very big step in making it a better piece of work. If that makes any form of sense.
Sure.
Wow, Fish. Cole seemed to be into my idea or my ideology behind all this, and then there you are. Yeah, he was staring at me longingly, like he wanted to puppy play with me. Wait, who would be the master, Cole? Huh?
I mean, I'd be the master.
Dude, that's not true at all.
Who'd be Scooby? Who'd be Shaggy?
Dude, I am totally a Shaggy. You'd do anything for a Scooby snack. Don't even lie.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Damn. Okay, now I'm glad we ruined that childhood memory for the rest of life. Oh man. Oh my god. I can't do this anymore.
Me either. Let's fucking.
No, whoa. Let me handle this.
Okay.
Let him handle this, Fisher.
Yes. Jesus Christ. Why can't you let me have anything in my entire life?
Fuck you.
Oh my god. Fuck you, Cole.
Cole, please tell us. Plug yourself.
Oh yes, follow me on Instagram at Bankston Media. I do photos, videos, and animation. I specialize in stop motion. Hit me up.
Wow, that was really good, Cole. It's almost like you practiced that the past year, handing out business cards and trying to get your name out there.
I know.
Just
yeah.
true.
This is very true.
Little side note before
anyone call me up, give me a job.
Little side note before we go. I was Cole once, and he was handing out business cards at a convention, and he got to the point where he's just started like dead dropping them into people's hoodies.
Yeah. I would like interrupt people's conversation. There was like this one group, this guy, I forgot what he came to the group with, but he was like, "Hey man, check this." Oh, it was cookies. He had like those little like dollar Walmart really soft cookies, you know? And he's like, "Hey everybody, check this out." And I was like, "Hey man, that's really cool. You guys should just check this out. This is my business card."
Wow.
I just gave it to everyone.
What a freak.
God damn it.
What a freak. All right. Well, okay. I wish we could plug ourselves, but yet again, we still don't know what we're doing nowadays. So like, you just check us back next week, and maybe we'll know who's sponsoring us, what platforms we're on, and you know, just you can join.
We'll go from there.
You can join our MindMesh. You know, you get it. You got it. You guys understand. Join us back next. Well, I don't.
Come on, you got this. You got this, my friend.
I was about to say our schedule, but we still don't even technically know our schedule.
I know.
So what you know what I'm gonna say?
What?
I've been Chayton.
And I've been Fish.
And we've been joined by our special guest.
And I'm Cole.
Okay, yeah,
yes.
that makes sense. See you next time on MindMesh. Bye, everybody.
Guys.
See ya.